It's 9 o'clock, live from central London. This is RT UK. Well, I'm now joined by the Shadow Secretary of State for Justice and Labour MP for Leeds East, Richard Bergen, for more on this. Richard, is it really fair to accuse Theresa May of stealing Labour policies? After all, she is listening to the people, and that's what a government should be doing.
Well, Theresa May was on video at a fringe meeting at the conference.
You're obviously a very prominent anti-Brexit campaigner. No matter all
No, I'm not. I find this very strange.
Okay, so do you want Brexit to fail?
No, because I find this tag of anti-Brexit. When is it that I have done anything that's anti-Brexit?
Well, you're complicating things, throwing the spanner in the works and making it very tricky for the government just to get on with its job.
Well, I think you call that parliamentary sovereignty.
I'm just too libertarian for him.
All right, wait a minute then. I mean, you know, clearly politics is about personality. You do a lot of TV appearances, including on Going Underground here on RT. When we see the rise of Lembit Opik again on the political stage, does it not appeal to you? Clearly, maybe a new leader needed for the Lib Dems?
Well, if called upon to serve the country in that way, then I will rise to the plate.
It's a form of democratic...
Wait a minute, I've just had a tweet about... What does John think about fracking?
What about the down...
I'll tell you what I think about fracking. It's the same as what I think about nuclear power.
Right, well, there's plenty of action going on in front of the cameras, lots of excitement too, an unpredictable exit poll result so far. But we thought we'd spare a thought for all those working tonight here on the team. I'm in the so-called gallery, it's the control room. After a successful acting career, a career you're enjoying at the moment, are you now really keen to formally join the political arena? Any political ambitions, just finally?
Well, you know, I was asked.
Well, earlier I spoke to the film director, Ken Loach. He's among the high-profile names leading the calls for a boycott.
As good citizens, we have to say this is not acceptable.
Some may say you're being hypocritical because the freedom of arts is... the freedom of expression, of course, is showcased and championed throughout the UK here. It's one of our principles. And yet we're actually denying other people the same.
No, I think any individual filmmaker is not to be sanctioned.
So pressure on Bush and Blair now. You say you'd like to see him there giving testimony as a witness, but do you want to see him go to jail?
I want to see those that condoned, supported and approved of extraordinary rendition, waterboarding, torture. I want to see them put on trial.
What about the consequences for you? Your party, you've been a high-profile name in the Tory party for many years. What are you doing to the party now with this huge division?
It's a division, but I hope it's not one that's got any of the animosity that there was to a degree.
So it's a fair deal. I mean, if you can get a good deal, why not get a good deal?
Well, I can understand from your point of view. Of course you would, but it's also undermining the what they describe. It's actually officially called the Bribery Act. That's one thing you've been charged with, and also, of course, very importantly, perhaps scuppering the Good Friday Agreement, the peace agreement.
Well, we're good negotiators.
You concerned, though, in time of austerity, that the taxpayers thinking, wait a minute, £1 billion merely, in effect, to prop up the government. It does sound like bribery. Where is that money going to come from?